Hey guys, like I told you, I think actually I forgot to tell some of you guys, but I had meetings today, so I'm out. I'm actually in the building somewhere, so who knows, it might sneak in on you guys. But we're continuing on with our lesson. So what I need you guys to do right now is go ahead and take out a piece of paper and be ready to take notes. So please pause the video and give the students time to get out a piece of paper. All right, today, my young grasshoppers, we are going to continue with chapter 1. We're going to be talking about simplifying. So 2 parts, combining like terms, which we'll start with first, and also the distributed property. Now, for combining like terms, it's important that we understand what like terms are. Okay, so like terms, by definition, okay, both your variables and exponents on those variables must be the same. Okay, they have to be identical. Okay, so that's what you're looking for. Now, what's important about these is that these are the terms that you're allowed to combine together. We're allowed to add them up. Okay. Now, there's some little tricks to it, and we're going to look at some examples of what are like terms and what are unlike terms here on our next slide. Okay. So, here's a short list. Now, only thing I need you guys to do is build a column, okay, and one column, okay, make sure that you have like terms, okay, write like terms, and then in a separate column, make sure you have unlike terms. And we're going to go ahead and go through and categorize these different ones. Again, keeping in mind that the like terms are ones that I'm allowed to add together, okay. So, let's start with ones that are like terms. Okay, so as I look through this list, I'm looking for problems that have the same variable, same letter, and they have to have the same exponents on that variable. So, this first one, 5x and 9x, they both have an x. Those are like terms. Okay, I can add these together, okay, and make it 14x. The next one here, 8x to the 5th power plus 9x to the 5th power. Those are like terms. Okay, those are like terms. Since they both have an x to the 5th, okay, I can add those together. It actually be 17x to the 5th. Okay, now, here's our first one that is not like terms. We have 5r to the 3rd minus 2r. Okay, yes, they have the same variable r, but the exponents are not the same. Okay, these are not like terms. I can't do anything with that. Okay, that would be my simplified answer at this point. Okay, last one in that column, negative 10n squared plus 19n squared. They both have an n squared. Okay, so those would be like terms. Okay, on to the middle column. Negative 3x plus 9y, not even the same letter. They don't even have the same variable. Those are not like terms. I am not allowed to add those together. 7 minus 10y. The 10 has the variable y. The 7 is called a constant. It's a number without a variable. Okay, so no, those are not like terms. I am not allowed to add those together. 13d plus 7d. They both have d to the 1st. Those are like terms. Okay? 4xy plus 18xy. They both have an xy. Okay? So those would be like terms. On to the last column. 2n squared plus 9n. Now again, a little tricky. They have the same variable, n. The problem with this n is n squared. They have different exponents. So those are not like terms. 2n squared plus 9n. Those are not like terms. 5 minus 13. Just 2 constants. Yes, those are like terms. We're allowed to add those together. 8y plus 4y squared. Again, we have the scenario, same variable y, but this one has an exponent of 2, this one has an exponent of 1. Okay, we just don't write the exponent of 1. Those are not like terms. And the last one, it might be hard for you to see that, is 5c minus 5t. Okay, totally different variables. Those are not like terms. Okay, now the one that can be a little tricky, okay, and this will show up every once in a while, okay, would be a problem like this. And I'm going to show you these are like terms. Okay, be 2x squared y plus 5yx squared. Okay, it's written in a different order, but both of these have an x squared, both of these have a y to the first. So technically these are like terms. I would be able to add these together. Okay, I just have to decide whether I'm going to write x squared y or yx squared. Okay, all right, let's look at a few concrete examples here. So I want you to write this one down. This is problem letter A. Now notice the instructions tell us to simplify. Okay, simplify. That's typically used when we're going to distribute and combine like terms. Okay, simplify. So I'm going to show you a strategy for organization. This is not the only way to do it, but this will help you organize your information. So I start off. Got 2x squared plus 3y minus 5x minus 4y plus 7x. Now it's important when we do this that we're seeing our numbers, okay, for what they're supposed to be. For instance, this is actually a negative 5x, okay? What will help, if that's not something that makes sense to you, is every time I see subtraction, I want to add the opposite. Subtraction plus a negative 4y, okay? It'll make it a little bit more obvious for us. And we start off, we have a 2x squared. And I'm going to look for any other x squareds in this problem. There's no other x squared, so that's the only one of its kind. I go to my 3y, that's a positive 3y. I'm going to look for any other y's, and I have a negative 4y. So I'm going to add those two together. Cross them off as I go. My next one, this is a negative 5x. We got negative 5x. And I also have a positive 7x that I'm going to add together. Once I've done that, let's just add up our like terms. So I have 2x squared, 3y plus negative 4y, different sign subtract, keep the larger. It's going to be negative 1y. A lot of times we'll write it just like that, negative y, negative 5x plus 7x. That would be positive 2x. And this would be my simplified expression. Okay, letter B. 5x minus 2 minus x. Well, I'm going to start off. It's a minus sign. I'm going to go plus a negative 2 and plus a negative 1x. Okay, remember, if it's just the variable, okay, the coefficient, the word coefficient means the number multiplied to your variable, okay, is going to be 1. Okay, so this is going to be a negative 1x. So I start organizing. I got my 5x. I also have a negative 1x that I'm adding to it. Those are gone. My other number is a negative 2. There's nothing else there. Now we're just going to combine our like terms. So 5x plus negative 1x is positive 4x minus 2. And that would be it. Let's look at a couple more together. If you're feeling comfortable, you can work ahead. Okay, start here. 7x plus 5 minus 2y plus 3x minus 9. First things first, plus negative 2y plus negative 9. We got 7x. 7x goes with positive 3x. Okay, those are done. 5 5 goes with negative 9. Those are done. And then I can't forget about this negative 2y. Sometimes those get lost if I'm not keeping track. Okay, combine my like terms. 7x plus 3x is 10x. 5 plus negative 9 is negative 4. And then don't forget that negative 2y. And that would be our simplified expression. Last one here together. Negative 1 plus 8y minus 4 plus 2y. Well, first thing I'm going to do is this minus sign plus a negative 4. Okay, and I'm going to start. Negative 1. I also have the constant negative 4, so I'm adding those together. The 8y, I'm going to be adding with the 2y. So I got my like terms together. Now I just need to add them up. Negative 1 plus negative 4, same signs add, keep the sign. 8y plus 2y is 10y. All right. Okay, here's your first one I want you to try on your own. Okay, so please pause the video and give the students 4 minutes to complete these 4 problems. Okay, for number 1, 9x plus 2x go together. Negative 6 plus 3 go together. And I would get 11x minus 3. Okay? Now number 2 is kind of unique. 7 and negative 9 go together. Negative 9x plus 9x go together. Okay, so 7 plus negative 9 is negative 2, and these add up to 0. If it adds up to 0, I don't need to write it down. That's my answer right there, just negative 2. Okay, we don't write 0x. For number 3, remember that's a 1n, so you're going to end up with 9n plus 3 for your answer. Again, remember on this, these are 1n's. Okay, so this is going to be 2n minus 0.2. Okay, for that last one. Let's do one more set. If so, please pause the video and give the students 4 minutes to complete these problems. Your answers should have negative 18 minus 3v. I'll go with number 7 here. This would be negative 2x. Number 6, I should have 2 plus 11x. And the last one, I should have a minus 3. Now, I probably should have mentioned this earlier, but every once in a while, we're going to have things mixed around in a different order. So, for instance, with number 8, you may have written it like this, okay? Sometimes you will see the answer written like this. As long as you have a negative 3, this is a negative 3 and a negative 3, positive A, okay, it would be considered correct, even if it's in a slightly different order. Okay, you have to have all the right terms. Okay? All right, now let's go ahead and switch gears to the distributive property. That was combining like terms. Now we're going to look at the distributive property. With the distributive property, we're going to see this basic problem. Okay, so I want you to copy this first problem down. 6 parentheses, m plus 5, close parentheses. Now, what we have to remember is that there is nothing in between the 6 and the parenthesis. Therefore, this is multiplication. Okay? And when I look inside the parenthesis, notice these are not like terms. I'm not allowed to add an m to a 5. They're not like terms. Therefore, the only way to simplify is to distribute. So I have 6 times m. I multiply 6 times m is 6m. And then I multiply 6 times 5. 6 times 5 is 30. And that would be my simplified answer using the distributive property. Letter B. Parentheses, 5x plus 3, close parentheses, times 2. Well, it doesn't matter that it's on the other side. It's still multiplication. We are still doing the same thing. 2 times 5x is 10x. 2 times 3 is 6. Okay? With letter C, you want to be careful. Okay? Be careful that we're multiplying correctly with these negatives. Okay? So it's negative 2, parentheses, 3 minus 7y, close parentheses. Now, this is multiplication again. I have to be very careful though. This is negative 2 times 3. That is negative 6. And here's where we got to be careful, right here. Remember, this is a negative 7h plus negative 7h. Negative times a negative equals a positive 14h. And many times when we do this problem, I see us write minus 14h. We forget all about the fact that we're multiplying negative times a negative. Be careful. Don't freak out when you see fractions. It's just the same thing. We're multiplying. Okay? 3b minus 2 multiplied to 1/3. So I have 1/3 times 3b. So 1/3 times 3. Remember, you make it over 1. I can cross cancel here. Okay, divide out 3, multiply the tops, multiply the bottoms. Okay, that's going to be 1 over 1, or just 1. So I have 1b, which would just be written as b. 1/3 times negative 2. So 1/3 times negative 2. Nothing I can cross cancel. Multiply the tops, multiply the bottoms. We get negative 2/3. So minus 2/3. Okay. All right, I want you guys to try a set. So please pause the video and give the students 3 minutes to complete these problems. All right, remember, we have a lot of negatives here, so be careful. Negative 4 times 6x, negative 24x. Negative 4 times negative 4 is positive 16. Okay, so you should have a plus 16 here. Now, doesn't seem obvious because we don't write the number. This is a negative 1. So this is negative 1 times 2x is negative 2x. Negative 1 times 1 is negative 1. Similar thing here with letter G. So negative 1. Negative 1 times 7 is negative 7. Here's where most people make the mistake. Negative times a negative equals a positive. And the last one, negative 2 times negative 8h is positive, sorry, negative 8a is positive 16a. Negative 2 times 3 is negative 6. And that'd be it. Now, sub would please pass out the worksheet. You guys are going to be working on this worksheet. Yes, there are a lot of problems on it. Okay, you're going to turn in this worksheet at the end of class. Okay, I am putting up the answers right now. Okay, keep in mind, it doesn't do you any good to just copy down the answers. That ain't going to help you. But I want you to be able to check your answers as you go on this, especially since I'm not here. Okay, so if sub would please leave the answers up, that would be much appreciated. When you guys are finished, okay, make sure you turn it in. Okay, and if you get done early, you should open up your computer and be working on Alex. Okay, this got to be all the way finished before you start doing that. Okay, you guys have a wonderful day, and we will see you on Tuesday. Bye.